Hey everybody, Mike here. Now I'm at my buddy's farm, and this area has never had Bigfoot related activity. The reason I'm here is because of a friend of mine sent me some video from house something, I don't know, house of something, house something. But anyways, it was about this guy following this trail through the woods, and he was following X's. And my buddy, who's newer to the world of Bigfoot, was like, man, Mike, ain't that awesome? I mean, I'm going to start looking for X's and whatnot. And it's like, I wouldn't waste my time with that, which kind of offended him in a sense. And I understand that, I get that. But he didn't understand why. X's and arches are the most common thing found in the woods. And not only are they the most common thing found in the woods, but they're the most common naturally occurring thing to happen. So, unless you actually see the Bigfoot making the structure or whatnot, then you really can't say for sure that it was in fact the Bigfoot. I mean, you can look for footprints around it. You can check it for eDNA. There's so many things. But I just want to make a quick video in an area that has never had a history whatsoever of Bigfoot, and kind of give them an idea of what I'm talking about. Okay, so here we have a natural arch. Right, this is the structure. But what you're not seeing is the tree that it's attached to. If I showed you just this, yes. Back there, you see a fallen tree, and it makes an X. It just happened to fall that way. Here is another arch. Comes up, goes down. There you can see the limb that snapped laying across it. Now why? That limb is at a place. I will give you that. There's a thing called a flu-flu. It's a hunting arrow. Okay, if this was my limb, this is the thicker, heavier end. Out here is smaller. So when this falls from a tree, all of these leaves and limbs and whatnot are going to act as an air brake. So it's going to naturally flip up and fall this way. Now, the only way it could go the other is if this limb was falling and it caught on this branch, which would cause it to spin and land upside down and fall over, which is probably exactly what happened right here. Because again, this area, zero history of Bigfoot activity. Here we have another fallen tree and an X. Down here, it makes another X. Over here, we have an X again. Now, if both of these trees, if both of these trees were put here by something as an X, then they should both be aged the same. This tree is newer, this tree is older. So these two trees didn't get placed here naturally or unnaturally at the exact same time, because they're not aged and weathered the same the way they would be if they were both placed there at the same time. So you have to look for weathering and things like that. Again, here's a perfect X. Let me move these saplings. Perfect X right there at this angle. Well, that branch busted off from right up there, landed there, and then flipped upside down, making a perfect X. Here on the ground, we have a perfect X. And there would definitely be signs of footprints in this. Perfect X. Here again, at this angle, we have an X. Now here's the thing with that. All these X's that I've already shown you, and I'm not even 100 yards yet. I'm only about 40 yards from where I filmed the first one. And there's a lot that I didn't film. I'm just trying to make the point to the buddy of mine that you can't trust things like wood structures unless you find supporting evidence. Supporting evidence. What could that be? Well, it could be eDNA. It could be hair samples trapped on the limbs. It could be footprints. It could be muddy handprints. It could be any supporting evidence. Okay, wow, there's a perfect one. Hang on. Again, a perfect natural X. But again, there's zero supporting evidence. So does the area have a history of activity? In this case, no. This place has zero history. I'm literally just outside of city limits. So I'm like the first farm out of city limits with zero history. Here's another one. Okay, here again. Here's your perfect X. So does the area have a history? If not, can you conclude it to be Bigfoot? Was it being seen made by a Sasquatch? If not, how do you know for sure it was Bigfoot? X's and arches are the most natural recurring thing on the planet in the woods. Now with that comes your credibility. If everything you film is Bigfoot, everything's Bigfoot, then you're throwing yourself out there to be unbelievable. Okay, like when I post something, I could tell my friends, hey, it was 3 a.m., foggy as crap. I didn't see this X being, or I didn't get this X being filmed by a Bigfoot or a Sasquatch, but I know for a fact that I watched a Sasquatch make it. My friends would believe that strictly based off of my credibility with them. Whereas if everything's a Bigfoot and everything you post is Bigfoot and every time you go in the woods you find that pristine Bigfoot evidence, you just kind of start to lose credibility. So not everything's Bigfoot, people.